Yeah. It is June the 2nd. This is Black Power Media. Also, this is the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. And let me introduce you to your host. We have no other than Dr. Jared Ball. Kamal K. Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, good people?
Let the beige jokes begin.
Yeah. Beijing in the building. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. It makes me laugh every time I hear it. Beijing. You know, all respect to our future world leaders anyway. Shout out to the Chinese.
True.
You know,
true.
We might as well so we might as well get in early. Right on, La Lasta Samuraya.
I'm glad you said it.
I hope I said it right. I felt like I said it right.
It felt good. It sounded good.
It felt good, right? It felt like it deserved a little bit of effort. Yeah. I meant to call backboard. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Anyway, greetings everybody. Welcome to the Remix Morning Show here at Black Power Media. Shout out to all the remixes. Sugar Booger in the building. Sugar Booger and Quaker Anarchist and James Thompson are, I think, our leading social media thoroughbreds.
No doubt.
So I want to give them a special shout out because every time I look up on my feeds, it's like bam, they're just shouting out the platform. So thanks to them, thanks to all of you for joining us this morning. What's going on in the world, fellas? What's happening? We know Sister Kim is on her way. She's gonna be maybe she taking off yesterday's makeup.
True.
Getting her hair did.
Getting her.
Yeah.
Well, I'm headed to Disney World. I'm headed to Disney World apparently.
Really?
Oh, for real?
The babies have
put some money in Walt's pockets, huh?
So is that the one?
Yes.
Is that the one? Is that Florida or California?
I think it's Florida. I'm going to Florida. Whatever's in Florida, that's where I'll be at.
So our family just did. Well, mine is me. The women in our family just did that last summer, and or last year, some point last year. I can't exactly remember when. And yeah.
No, you didn't go?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. I don't want no parts of that, man. That is a complete nightmare to me. I was like, I love everybody. Have a good time. You know, I'll check in on the Zoom or whatever. And they loved it. But lines, crowds.
I was about to say, I'm allergic to lines. I don't do lines. Nah.
And we don't have enough money to get that
extra. You can pay extra now to skip lines, of course.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. We couldn't afford that because I didn't even look at the final bill, but I was like, somebody not going to college.
Yeah.
It's either Disney World or college. Which you want?
With Disney, it's a rich world after all. Because like, damn.
And you get mad at the kids because they get hungry. You trying to eat again?
But they came back. I mean, they had a great time, and apparently you get like the fancy bracelets, like you pay, everything is like high tech now, digital and all that. They had the t-shirts. You know, I did get a t-shirt. You know, the grumpy
you never wore.
I actually wore it on somewhere on this platform because it's like the grumpy dwarf.
Oh,
it's a grumpy dwarf. So they were like, "That's Pops. Get it, his t-shirt," you know. But anyway, yeah. So it looks like you're gonna have a good time. That's
let's not say that. It looks like I'm going to Disney World. The kids, I'm just hoping they have a good time. But at that age,
they're gonna have a very good time.
And then they'll have a meltdown, and then they'll have a good time again, and then they'll have a meltdown, and then they'll have a good time again. Yeah. But they're excited. They're excited.
So have you had your children ask you about the contradictions between your lived experience and your politics? Has that happened yet? Because I just got grilled yesterday. I forgot even what the contradiction was. Something like going to I can't even remember what it was, but my daughter was like, how can you talk all this communism and you're doing that. And I was like, it's rough out here. I was like, it's contradictions. I was like, I'm struggling. Like I'm doing the best I can. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyway,
man.
At this
That's
stage,
it.
they're understanding. They're starting to understand just how the world works, according to Kamau. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So they're learning about race issues, history, and they're picking up little tidbits. I got every show they see. I got them trying to point out like what's racist about the show, who's racist here, that kind of thing. So that we're gonna.
What's sweet is that my children are now at the point where they, even if it's being sarcastic, they point out, okay, here's where he's gonna have a problem. Go ahead, Dad. I know you see what happened. Go ahead. They'll even pause the video real quick and be like, go ahead, get it in. Go ahead. Like, get it out of your system so we can get back to the movie. I'm like, but and to Emma's question, yeah, that's messed up. That's messed up. The perspicacity of the balloon mind state of the De La Soul is what will get us to the promise. Anyway. But to Emma's question, yeah, we're talking a lot of football. World Cup coming up. At the in they doing it in the winter this year, Emma. So I know we got a lot of football talk coming up.
On I Mix What I Like tomorrow.
Yeah, I was like
8 a.m. Yeah.
No, is he speaking
Argentina just had a big victory over Italy yesterday. 3-0, and Italy is not in the World Cup. Ukraine beat Scotland for a chance to play Wales this weekend.
Won something, you know what I'm saying? At least Ukraine won something.
Man, they're winning the PR branding thing.
Well,
everybody crying and holding up the flags, and even my soccer shows are talking about the stop the war and and all I keep saying is I watched Daruba and Ajamu break down how they all Nazis. Turn on BPM, ESPN.
That's sports.
They're like, that's all right. They're like, that's all right.
Yeah, they're like, nah. Everybody out there crying and everything. So I'll be rooting for Wales this weekend to put Ukraine out. And I'm just rooting for it. I'm just hating because usually I root for whatever teams have the most black players. That's I just go that way if I don't have and then I just go for the political hate, and I just so in this case. Wales versus Ukraine. I'm rooting for Wales.
So I will never have any endorsements. Never.
Speaking of sports, we got the NBA Finals starting this weekend, so I'm amped about that. Should be a good one. We got
Golden
State against Boston. So we got Team Beijing, Golden State against Boston.
Oh wow.
Word.
So none of the superstars are left, man. I've been seeing a lot of people are talking trash. Like a lot of the big names are out.
Steph Curry. They about to get another ring. This might be 6 rings for.
It would be 6 if they win.
He doesn't have 6.
3.
He doesn't have 6.
Like
Slow down.
Slow down. Come back on
that. Yeah. When you have your next break, you can come and do the sports.
Yeah, let me go get ready for that.
Right. But yeah. Anyway, so I'll be rooting for. I don't even know who's on Boston. I don't know anything about what's happening in the NBA at this point.
The only thing I know about Boston right now is that the coach's girlfriend is Nia Long.
Oh, what?
Because obviously just social media. She did some dance on social media and they got to the final.
Then I'm rooting for Boston. I thought I was rooting for Steph.
No.
Oh, she's the coach of Boston. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I was going to root for Steph Curry.
But now?
Beige. But now, I just go Boston. Let me get my green and white. It's like that. Switch.
Too much history there. It's just too much history in Boston. That's a hard choice. Even though I know this current team makeup has not, they're like 30 years removed or whatever. But
look, I have I got a quick Navy story. I know that's what everybody really tunes in for. But Boston, the Mississippi of the North, we went there for cruise week one year to Faneuil Hall, wearing our whites, and which should be a pun intended. and and we walked in. It was a crew, about 5, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, however many of us, all black, and we walk into this bar, and it was like in one of those movies where like the music stops, everybody stops talking, and it was like the whitest, most white space, and the hostility was just palpable, and we just left, and that was it. No,
yeah, I just turned around and left.
We walked right back out. We was like, nope. It's like, because it really did feel like in my head the music literally stopped. You know what I mean? And everything I'm sure it didn't for real.
No,
and it was one of those, and everybody, we didn't even make it 5 steps into the building. It was like into the door. Everybody was like, whoa, because like people definitely turned around. And it was like, and there were other sailors in there, so it wasn't just the fact that we were in our uniforms. It was definitely the and we were told, and then of course everybody was told not to go to Roxbury, because that's the dangerous black area. So that's where we did. That's where we went next.
That's where you go. Thanks for the directions.
Because this clearly wasn't the spot. You know what I mean? You told us to stay around here. This wasn't the spot. Anyway. Yes, cute kids. Got the baby Franklins. Got the baby Franklins.
School is done. So they home. And when I'm up, this one's up.
So real quick. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, right on. Just real quick before we get back to the ear doctor and get back to some more fun and news, just want to encourage everybody very quickly to make sure you are supporting Mutulu Shakur, Dr. Mutulu Shakur, who we know is now in hospice. You can go to MutuluShakur.com and get on this PayPal, drop a few dollars in there to help them out. I don't know if there's a relationship come out already with the Mutual Aid for Panthers Fund that Mutulu is receiving, but whether you're supporting that fund, which I would encourage as well, or whether you're going directly here to support Dr. Shakur, who was also just recently denied parole, please do that, and let's continue to support him as much as we can. Anyway, all right, ear doctor, come on back, man. What's coming up next?
Hey, we gonna go ahead and give you an artist spotlight on an artist that's dropping some music and got a nice sound, some soulful. Look at this kid right here. Wow, talk about toe jam. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna
now you just encourage them.
Yeah,
thanks.
Yo, I'm taking my kids swimming today later, man. So that should be fun too. So let's go ahead and get to it right here on the Remix Morning Show, y'all.
Let's go.
All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome out once again to the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, and y'all tuned into that Boom Bap Breakfast, and I hope y'all getting full of it because we giving it to you right here. All right, check this out. Make sure y'all hit that like button at the bottom if y'all haven't already. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It is on again every Tuesday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And if you want to start your week off earlier, go to I Mix What I Like. That starts at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Monday, on Friday. So we got a whole week of morning time boom bap for you. With that said, also go to patreon.com, Joshua Change on blackpowermedia.com. Become a member, and we're gonna make sure we got y'all. Notification bell, bang, bang, hit that too. All right, boom. So what we want to do right now is give an artist spotlight. I've been DJing for this sister when she has parties all the time, and I was like, yo, let me drop one of your songs on there. So we're gonna go to it right here, right about now. And she goes by the name of Cipher, and you can check her out with this song right here. And it's called Almost Famous. So check it out right here, right now. Cipher. Bam.
nobody knows your name. And the bright lights look all the same. And there's a claim to fame, but you just want to maintain the simple things. You want to do this music thing, and everybody loves you. At least that's what they say. That's what they say. Yeah. Almost famous.
So you wanna be a star, you wanna be a star.
But the fame, it ain't the same. Almost famous, but the fame, it ain't the same. Be careful what you wish for.
You unmute.
Khalid, tell him, Khalid.
You unmute.
Nobody heard your outro, ear doctor.
Nobody heard none of that. Still can't hear you.
Still can't hear you.
Still
So
on,
what's
you
up,
still
Kim?
messed something up.
We just greet Kim.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, that's Cipher TV. Check her out. She got that single "Almost Famous." Yeah. So thank you.
That was
It was
dope.
almost
I
good,
like her
too. I
voice.
liked it, yeah.
Yeah. And,
It was a nice vibe.
Yeah, she's
almost
DC.
good.
From
Did I hear
DC.
that? I said it was almost good.
Oh wow.
Kamau.
Wow.
Kamau. Is this what we teaching the children early in the morning, Kamau?
Yes.
Is this,
And how to work the
Apparently.
mute button, apparently. How to work
It's
the mute button.
almost good parenting.
Hey,
Almost good.
hey, hold up. Is that "Burn It Down" Kim Brown?
There
Yes.
you go. There
Give me
you
my
go.
reverb. Give me my reverb, son. Yes. Good morning, black people and beige
Good morning.
people. How y'all
Greetings
feeling?
and beige and the
Black
beige.
and beige.
Hey, and before I forget, Almost Famous is also one of my favorite films, by the way, the James Cameron film.
With Kate
I don't know if
Hudson,
any
I've
of
never
you-
seen
any-
that movie. That's one of
Yeah.
those. That's in the genre of like When Harry Met Sally, like big white movies that white people really
Ooh.
loved, and I never seen, or it took me a while to see. I've never seen Almost Famous, but it's on my list.
I get the white thing, not the Harry Met Sally. It's way better than that.
Oh, good.
But it's so if people want to see what the last 2 years of high school were for me, that movie
Oh,
actually
wow.
captures it. It's that kind of vibe, that kind of grouping of white folks. If they had just with a little bit of more money.
Mm.
Y'all gonna make me do best white movies. The best one was
Yeah.
Braveheart.
We was Braveheart. Yeah,
Best
that's
white
it.
movie ever.
I hate to say it, man, but that cracker can make a movie, boy.
Mel Gibson,
Mel-
yeah.
Mel
He's a
can Mel can
movie-making
make a
son of a bitch.
movie. I and that Apocalypto joint is,
Yeah.
is, you know, like he can make a movie, but you know, but all I can hear him saying is what I won't repeat because the baby's right there. But that's all I hear. What he was saying to his ex, I hope you get.
Oh, right, that's right.
I was
Right.
like, wow,
Woo.
wow.
That's the thing
Anyway,
about
so-
the saltines, man. You don't have to scratch that surface very deep. All the racism is right there. It's just
Keebler-
waiting to come
They be
out.
waiting. Word. That's your break for the day. I'll catch y'all next break. Peace.
Right
Peace,
on. Thank you,
peace,
Ear
Ear
Doctor.
Doctor.
Well, now that Kim's here, and Ear Doctor is playing productionist in the background, we can just go ahead and let's slap the map and get into some of this world nonsense that's happening out here. All right. Back here, Remix Morning Show, Black Power Media. Greetings and welcome back, everybody. Getting into some news. If you all don't mind, can I start with a story that's not on the run sheet? Because I have to. It starts in Baltimore. But I have to admit a lot of ignorance on the specifics of this issue here. So I was doing some Googling in the early hours of the AM to try to play some catch up. But that Baltimore is suing a ghost gun maker, Polymer 80. And when I saw that headline, I have to admit, I did not know what a ghost gun was.
Damn, Jared, you've missed this entire legislative session. This was their signature piece of shit that they, pardon me, the signature piece of legislation that they passed this session. The banning of the ghost guns in Maryland.
I completely missed all of that. So that's why like I said, I admit my ignorance, and I was glad that you were going to be here this morning, Kim, specifically being in the Maryland-based story. But I had no idea that but anyway, the city of Baltimore is suing ghost gun maker Polymer 80. Mayor Brandon Scott announced on Wednesday why it matters. The lawsuit alleges that Polymer 80, one of the largest manufacturers of ghost guns in the U.S., has caused a public health crisis and accuses the firm of negligence and public nuisance in violations of the Maryland Consumer Protection Act. The suit filed in Circuit Court of Baltimore City alleges that Polymer 80 intentionally undermines federal and state firearms laws by designing, manufacturing, selling, and providing ghost gun kits and parts to buyers who do not undergo a background check. So, I did not know, that Polymer 80 counts for 91% of all seized ghost guns in Baltimore. I did not know that this ghost gun thing, I did not know anything about this. I completely missed all of it. The whole thing of piecing guns pieces together with all that come without a serial number. So you can put a whole gun together and use it and can't be traced. I was like,
but
that's what I'm saying.
But the kicker is, if you a shooter, are you worried about how legal your gun is? You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's your purpose to shoot people, right? You're not concerned about the legality of the gun. But here's my question: is Baltimore suing Remington? Are they suing Beretta? Are they also suing, Smith and Wesson? Like, why the ghost guns? Because the gun violence issue precedes the ghost gun. Yes, so like. It's so strange to me why these lawmakers are singling out ghost guns. I hear the logic, but I disagree with it because people are still going to find ways to shoot one another, regardless if it's a gun that you can assemble or a gun that you find or a gun that you steal out of somebody's house. Like the gun, you're going to find the gun. The gun will arrive in some way.
Wouldn't you target the gun? Wouldn't you just target the gun that's most, like the AR-15, the gun most used in mass murderers, right? The favorite gun of the folks who are out there shooting like 10, 15, 20 people at a time, wouldn't that be the one that you would try to ban? But not, because that logic, of course, doesn't register, because it's a cheap victory to say we're going to go after the ghost gun, because there's some illegality in terms of making them or producing them, and so they're an easier target than going after the huge gun manufacturing industry and the right wing and white America. So, I think all that has to do with it.
The two questions that came to mind for me were, one, are ghost guns and their manufacturers are they lobbied for under the same lobbying that goes for all the other arms? And would they, so would there be as much money behind that? In other words, would they be a softer target for a politician than Remington? Then the other thing is, when I read that and it says that they're using the Consumer Protection Act as the legal basis for this suit, I'm wondering if the, I guess, quote unquote, regular gun world is consumed or purchased or transported in ways that make it legal or protected, and in other words, would they have a claim? Would Mayor Scott be able to say, look, I would do what Kim is saying, but they're protected under the Consumer Protected Act, unlike the ghost gun people? But in general, I agree with what you're saying. No, I mean, with both of you, that it sounds like a soft target. I'm just pleading guilty on the ignorance of the ghost gun thing. I was like, ghost gun. I was like, what in the hell?
No, they made it a huge deal. And like I said, there was a student in Montgomery County this school year who was shot in school with the ghost gun, and after that, that was it. Okay. They was full steam ahead on getting the ghost guns. But meanwhile, I mean, speaking of, let me stay in Montgomery County, a very affluent county. You know what I'm saying? Like he could just went in his dad's gun drawer and took the regular revolver. Like, it didn't have to be a ghost gun. The fact that it was okay, but if you make this legislation, it's not going to end gun violence. People are just going to have to get creative again. You know what I'm saying? Like, these gun laws don't address the issue. They really don't address the issue, because even still, if you outlaw ghost guns, the guns are still accessible. It doesn't diminish the accessibility of the gun, right? So I just find it really weird. It's all about prosecutions, you know, and giving more of an opportunity for law enforcement to charge people with possessing of some sort of firearm. This is just another reason to fill jails and to make arrests. This is not going to stem gun violence.
Yeah. I mean, I like to see what the stats are on people killed and or shot by ghost guns compared to, again, other guns that are manufactured in quote unquote a legal way. Mm-hmm. So, because my expectation again is that this will do nothing for anyone. Because as one of the comments that was put up earlier said, most guns are purchased legally from the South in particular, and then shipped up north, right, through some means or mechanism. So you can go to a gun store and pick up any gun you want down here without any background check, but just whipping out your license. You can get guns online in the South just by doing some simple tasks. So they're not doing anything to slow down the purchase of guns or the use of guns. This is just a issue that someone gets to act as if they've been tough on violence, and they've really done nothing whatsoever to try to solve the issue, to deal with the issue. And again, I know there's even friction around, gun control versus not gun control and the rest of it, but at least put up an honest and earnest effort to deal with the issue of access to guns, what people are using them for, the big companies that are making profits, and the ideological branding that somehow solving your problems through killing somebody seems to be the way to go in a quote unquote uncivilized society. So
here in Maryland, you can get an AR-15 legally for about somewhere around, I don't know, $700-800, and they do a quick check. And if you don't have like a federal warrant, or if like the police aren't literally chasing you into the store as you're trying to buy the gun, you can walk out with an AR-15 and all the ammo you can afford and carry.
Well, I didn't know that. I just thought you could get the rifle or the shotgun. I thought the AR was in a separate class, so a weapon, because Maryland is extra pressed, and that brings us back to a good point, specifically pertaining to Baltimore. I don't know what the murder rate is currently in Baltimore. My understanding is that it is very high, and Maryland has some of the most strictest handgun laws on the books across the country, but somehow Baltimore still manages to put up 200 plus murders, 300 plus murders every year. These gun laws don't do anything to quell that tide of violence. They just put people in jail. The violence continues, and you just put people in jail for guns. How come they're not suing the slumlords of Baltimore, Brandon Scott? Like, you got so much time. Who's bringing this lawsuit, Jared? Is it Marilyn Mosby's office? Is it the Baltimore State Attorney?
I would have to pull that back up here in just a second.
Because this kind of sounds like distraction, Marilyn Mosby. Don't try to distract us from your legal woes. Don't distract us from your legal woes, State's Attorney.
I don't think it says it. It just says the suit is being filed in Baltimore City, in Circuit Court of Baltimore City, but it doesn't say.
Who the plaintiff is?
Yeah, no, it doesn't say. It just announced. I assumed it was the city, and that the mayor was leading this, but it just says he's announcing it, and it doesn't say anything else. Mosby's not mentioned in this story.
My guy, announce that them 30 schools in Baltimore just got new HVAC systems, my G.
There
Like,
we go.
make that kind of announcement. We don't care about your little lawsuits, because in the end, let's say Baltimore prevails in this lawsuit, then what? What, do they get some money? Who's that money going to? This, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? This is just a political performance. I disagree with this.
The 12 ghost guns are off the streets.
Right, exactly. And 25 people now find themselves with felony charges relating to possessing the ghost gun. Way to go. Good job.
I don't hear any more about the 3D printer gun. Is that similar? Isn't that like similar to the 3D printing gun? That's another one that they get riled up over that one.
Yeah.
But it's like, how many, again, I'm just like numbers alone. So there's nothing to do with being effective or trying to stop anything. It's all performative theater, finger waving. I know. And then they move on.
And unfortunate. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, this just makes me have so much animus and irritation towards Democrats. It's like, y'all in power, y'all could be doing something, and this is what you choose to do. Ugh.
Well, and then, just sort of following in line with what we're just talking about, 4 victims killed, suspect dead after active shooter situation in Tulsa medical clinic.
Jeez.
So it just continues. 4:52 p.m. police received a call of an active shooter at the Natalie building at St. Francis Hospital. Officers arrived at 4:56 and heard gunshots on the second floor. And 4 people, as I've said, 4 people were killed, including not including, and then in addition to the shooter. And I think that's all that is being reported here at this point. But anyway, but it wasn't, the story did not say they were using a ghost gun. So
one thing the story I think did, at least another version I read, was that the shooter I think might have been black.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think and because it was in Tulsa, and in some of the statements by the so-called authorities, was that it wasn't random, that it was something that was planned out. So it made me think, because we've just come across, this is my own speculation, I've seen nothing to back this up, but because we've just come across the anniversary of the Tulsa white riots, I thought they might be a little, I'm gonna get you back factor, but I don't know. That's all.
Honestly, that didn't.
That part of putting 2 to 2 together. I'm thinking. I'm just like,
I'm looking now. I go by, initially I do admit I go by the very unscientific policy that if they don't show the picture of the black face, then the person was white. Yeah. Well, I just assume if they don't plaster a black face.
No.
Well,
my rule is if it's more than 4 people shot, then it's a white person.
Well, okay. My rule is if the person survives, they're white. If they did, they were non-white.
And this person is dead. You're right.
This person is dead. And this person is dead.
This person is dead.
So this, I don't know. Anyway, that's sort of a sick thing to kind of place bets on. Never mind. I was like, let's play some bets, but no, that's crass. I'm sorry, I take that back. But I'm guessing a non-white shooter here.
Okay, yeah, I'm not seeing any pictures or anything.
No, I think the New York.
No, I'm wrong. Daglish described the gunman as a black male believed to be between 35 and 40.
Well, there you go.
And said he was armed with a long gun and handgun.
Mick Jägermeister just ran us some bucks. Thank you, Mick Jägermeister. Mick Jägermeister says, no investigation, no right to speak on it. Gun control, no. Cracker control, yes. Quote, ghost gun is a euphemism that the liberals created to act like they're doing something about the root cause of the violence. And yes, the root cause is we need cracker control. Agreed, Jägermeister, Mick Jägermeister. How do we get some cracker control? Suggestions? Anyone has some suggestions?
We need more guns.
Hey.
I'm going to definitely look back into this and if anybody happens in the chat to know of any reports of there being a connection in the mind's eye of the shooter to Tulsa, to the history of Black Wall Street, that'd be.
I'm trying to
think. I could be totally making that up, but It just felt like it was a little
But
close.
then why
to,
a hospital?
Right. I mean, and
Don't
again,
know that.
regardless
Yeah,
of the motivation, the targeting of these soft locations is so disturbing. It's so troubling. Like we had an elementary school, we had a supermarket, we've had, and now a hospital in what, 2 weeks' time? Like, I mean, it's bad enough that people are just committing violence, but they're committing violence in places where obviously folks are not expecting this, right? This isn't the gun range, or this is, you know what I mean? It's not.
Well, for them, that's their whole point, isn't it? Is that they want to indiscriminately shoot and or maim and or kill as many people as possible before they get caught or killed themselves. Like that's where their mind is. So they're looking for places where people are gathering in mass, and they can just do whatever the craziness that their mind has told them to do.
Well,
Jared,
but
can I
don't
ask you a
worry,
question?
everybody. Oh yeah, sure. I was going to say Pelosi's on her way to rescue us with a move to ban assault weapons. So yeah,
Way to go. And
there is
that's
good news, Kim.
I mean, okay, cool. Ban assault weapons. That's wonderful. There's 150 million of them already in circulation. So, I mean, I agree. We need to stop manufacturing them. But I was going to say, Jared is somebody who has firearms training. Do you reconsider, potentially like carrying when you're out and about, or do you see yourself potentially as a good guy with a gun? Since I guess you're a good shooter, former military. I'm assuming you're a good.
I just want to be very clear, as having been only in the Navy for 4 years, a long time ago, that one, in boot camp, they shut down our firearms training because it was too cold in Great Lakes, Michigan in December. And it really was. It was like 30 below zero the day I left or something like that. It was crazy cold. And when I got to my duty station on the good John F. Kennedy aircraft carrier, I was, no disrespect to cleaning staff, but I was a glorified janitor and painter who occasionally shot the 50 cal machine gun, which is I have to admit, just delicious. I can't deny it. That gun is a lot of fun. The M60. So I know that Rambo was lying to us, because you cannot hold an M60 with one hand and feed the rounds with the other. That was a lie, because I tried it and nearly broke my shoulder and elbow and got in trouble. So that's a lie.
Jared thought he was
shotguns. Rambo. Yeah, I did. I was like, I'm gonna try it. I was like, oh, I was like,
biracial Rambo out here.
Right. Like, get that motherfucker away from the weapon immediately. There was shotguns, which are great because you don't need to be skilled. It's just point and shoot. Everybody dies, or at least gets hit. And the handgun, the 45 caliber handgun we had, which I was terrible at. I was a terrible shot, and I truly believe now, having been at the range with others, that when you see movies and people shoot and miss, or when Jay-Z talks about how people missed him and it was divine intervention, nah, people just bad shots. It's harder than you think. It's just not, you people just out here all like this hitting everything. That's fake. That's just fake. But with the M14 rifle, I was nice. I was nice.
What's the difference? Why that one? This is white.
I don't know. Because it's a rifle shot. I don't know what it is about the way I was able to aim it out and scope it out with that. But to really get to your point, Kim, to your question, Kim, I think about it all the time. And the unfortunate thing that I come to, and why I was kind of hesitant even when this came up yesterday, is that when we were talking about in terms of training teachers and all of that, is that honestly, in the heat of the moment, and I'm no combat expert, but in the heat of the moment, in a lot of cases, training isn't going to be what is going to help you when in some of these instances. If you're teaching a classroom of kids and someone rolls up in the room with an automatic weapon, I think it's more about luck at that point than training. And even in a situation where you might have arms or be armed, there's still the possibility that you won't draw first, or you won't be looking, or they won't. It's not going to be like, hey, I'm about to pull a gun and shoot at you. People just roll up and pull. So it's like there's a lot of factors here where so I don't know always if me being or whoever being the good guy with the gun is going to be of help in that particular moment. All that said, and then I'll stop here. But I do think in general, but I am politically, philosophically in support of being armed and able to self-defend if given the opportunity, especially in the context we live in. Even as I realize we are out armed and are not going to at this point overwhelm any major force or whatever. But so anyway, I hope that addresses somewhat your question.
It did.
And what about you, Kim? How do you feel?
Like I said, the good news is Nancy Pelosi is coming. I'm sorry.
So,
what'd you say?
There's too many hoops to jump through in the state of Maryland for me to get a concealed carry license. I just don't. I'm just not doing all that shit. I'm just not. It's not that important for me to carry my gun out and about. And I would prefer. I mean, I have actually no interest in carrying my gun in public because that to me that's setting up for bad deals. Bad deals. Like, I mean, because the temptation would be there. It's too easy, right? If somebody does something, or if you feel threatened, or if you even perceive a threat that's not even real or even there, I mean, a situation could go badly. So I'm content to have my gun for home defense purposes. Like that's fine with me. You bring other weapons when you out in the street. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to bring a pistol. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know. We live in really, really precarious times, and I don't know. I mean, the violence is so random and so haphazard and so unpredictable. I don't know how much preparedness you could actually have. I mean, that's to say we should all be doing warrior class and make sure that we can prepare ourselves the best we can when unforeseen situations arise. But like Jared said, if somebody roll up in the mall or in the restaurant or at the school, I mean, like, what are you going to do? You just got to react and try to hide, try to survive, try to get away from the situation as fast as you can.
I mean, remember a couple of years ago, somebody rolled up right down the street from us here at the Columbia Mall with a shotgun and took somebody's life in a Spencer Gifts or whatever. Like, how can you can't? I mean, yeah, it's almost impossible to be prepared for something like that. You can't. I mean, that's just real quick. I did at one point look into a concealed carry permit here in Maryland. It's almost impossible to do that legally. From what I remember, the process is incredibly difficult, and most people won't qualify just out the gate. Even getting a handgun period legally in Maryland is not easy. Yeah. But you can, like I said, you can walk out the store in 20 minutes with an AR-15, which I think is, I just think it's really interesting. Thanks again, McJagermeister.
And my guess is, Jared, you wasn't good with that 45. That 45 might have been a little too heavy. Like, people when they talk about shooting handguns, it's like, well, try to shoot something lighter. Because I mean, I have small hands, so me trying to hold a 45 or a 357, my joint be droopy. Like it takes real wrist strength for me to hold the gun level. So 38s, you know what I'm saying? Like Little Jones, especially like a revolver. That's what I really want. If anybody, my birthday's coming up, I would like a revolver. Thank y'all. Please and thank you. I need something that's not going to jam.
What I remember is it was more about getting the lightness on the trigger without pulling it. Even when I got the ball of my finger on the trigger like you're supposed to, it kept pulling. I just kept. I don't know what it was. It was just I don't know. Just a mental thing, I guess. I don't know.
What about you, Kamal? How many guns did you tote up in Brooklyn? Several.
Well, you know what? I did not in Brooklyn. My mom's had one.
Yes, I like your mom.
When I was a kid, I found my mom's one. It was a little bit taken apart, but the first gun I ever held was because I went into my mom's closet and I went into her pocket and bam, there it was, kind of thing. But things to school. I've done training too, with the organizational life that I've been a part of. And so, but I, the little training that I've done, I agree. Like, when you got something with a scope on it, and it is fun, right? Like, you're aiming, you get that feeling of like, oh, there's some power in that. And I think, again, I think that's part of the Western or American culture of seeing power in having that kind of feeling that you're protected, right? Because it's such a crazy society. And of course, I won't speak on, for other reasons, what's currently around here, but yes, similarly to your situation, Kim, let me say it like that, where there's things for the house or whatever. But I'm not, again, I'm one of these people, as politicized as I am, as much as I believe that the use of violence is something that we need to have collectively at hand to defend ourselves, to protect ourselves, to offensively do things if needed be. Individually speaking, I'm torn on this particular issue because I don't believe that everybody should have access to weapons and using weapons to solve problems, nor do I believe, I think it's a little bit of a trope, even when I hear political people say stuff that sort of concurs with right-wing thought around, if you're going to train teachers, or everybody's going to get training and everybody's going to get this, that's somehow going to solve the problem, because in most cases, you very rarely hear about any situation that gets resolved because some third-party person took out their weapon and then they blasted and then that person got put down. Yep. That's just not like the normal way in which these things take place. People, like Jared alluded to, are running for their lives in that situation. And nor do I want my kid's teacher to have something in her classroom, because I do not believe that's going to be the reaction that's going to be needed in order to stop something like this from happening. So and just because the use, we don't have a trained group, a large group that's doing stuff right now. What we have is, even in our community, individuals who are using weapons for various purposes. Maybe some of it is protection, but some of it is offensively, to either take something from somebody else, or if they're engaged in something, to shoot back. So I'm not seeing the political nature of its usage.
Yeah.
So it always makes me a little bit sort of like so some of the arguments I hear don't convince me at this time and place that the ways in which weapons are used in this society are A, doing something for us collectively, and B, it just seems like having this much weaponry, this much arms in the street is not helpful for our community, and it certainly is being used against us in a lot of different ways. So yeah, so I'm torn, right? I'm not necessarily for people. I agree with the argument. If white folks got guns, then we certainly need guns. But I'm not convinced that currently, as guns are being used, that the argument that there can't be some gun control to lessen the amount of folks who have weapons on the street is just some liberal stance to take weapons out of Black people's hands. Like, I just don't buy that completely,
Totally.
They don't need to do that. I mean, the reality of the imbalance of military force is that the idea that they would have to disarm Black people to overwhelm Black people at this point is fantasy. So in some ways, I think a lot of the tendency towards gun ownership in Black or white communities is just a psychological self-defense mechanism, but doesn't have anything meaningful in terms of practically changing the relationships here. So,
so really quickly, I do want to say, so I do believe in Black militias, Black organized use of how to use, when to have, no fear whatsoever in having to think about protecting mine and my community, kind of thing. But my argument is more that that's not what I see playing out right now. Right? I hear arguments about it, but I just don't see it playing out right now.
That's a better way of putting what I was just trying to say. But yeah, that's it. No, I'm not joking you. I'm saying I'm legit. I was trying to echo that point, but I think I like the way you put it better. That's it. Just real quick before we get to the next ear doctor break, I don't have much to say about this. I just saw this. I haven't had a chance to even listen to it, but I want to encourage that we all check out this podcast on that I saw come up today on Covert
Matt
Action.
Hoffa. Who is it?
No. This is a Covert Action podcast about the eyewitness to LA's secret police spy network. It just sounds fascinating and related to what we're talking about here. So on this week's episode, they speak to Mike Rothmiller, former LA Police Department officer with the infamous Office of Criminal Intelligence Division, who apparently talks about this private or secret police spy network within the LA police. That sounds pretty interesting.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Anyway, just thought it seemed like,
like the not so secret that they got within the big gangs, they got little gangs, little cliques in their big gang. To figure out ways to take the money more, take the drugs more, because I'm Baltimore. Obviously, what y'all had going on in Baltimore was a special case, but by no means is that some
Thank you, Northern Witch,
to just what's happening in Baltimore all around the country.
Now
they got their clicks for various reasons.
Come out. Do you say what happened in Baltimore was a special case because they were caught? That's why I think that's what.
Yes, exactly.
That's what made it special. That they got.
And maybe
caught.
it was a little larger than some other place because it just seemed out in the. I mean, again, not being there, but at least the way things have continually been described, and if you look at the way they're portrayed on television, it just feels like it was just an open air secret. And folks are just like, what? This is Baltimore. You know what I mean? Even in New York, where they do similar things, it just felt like, they were trying to clamp down on it more. Here, it just seemed like, they look what they get paid. Of course they should do this. You know what I mean? So
it feels more like it happened to be, because of the aftermath of Freddie Gray's killing that more attention got brought to it. And that's why, what happened. But it does, that to me would be the major difference between why other places haven't been exposed. But Kim, to your point though, real quick, before we bring Ear Doctor back, Math Hoffa just had a great conversation with Sticky Fingers and Fredo from Onyx. And speaking of my ignorance, I missed the track from a couple years ago that they did with Wu-Tang. I did not know they did a Wu-Tang Onyx collabo just a few years ago. So I had to, they talked about that. Very interesting. I didn't know some of the backdrop.
You missed that collab? Wow, what a surprise.
30
years after the thing.
Kamal was coming with the shade.
It was dope though. The worst, I think it's called.
I need those 90s era rappers. Y'all got to figure out a way to find your 45 and over audience, man, because I would be supporting some of these projects if I knew they existed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what y'all need to do to reach me specifically. Y'all need to run Twitter ads. I'm not sure, but I feel as though my demographic, y'all, the older hip hop artists are not marketing to their demo the way that they should be if they are trying to make everybody aware that they have out new music. So I'm interested in the Onyx Wu-Tang collab, but I'd never knew it would exist.
It was dope. It's a dope track. And Mick Jägermeister, I'm gonna come back to you in a second. But Ear Doctor, come on up because I wanted to ask because you look like you in the barber shop, right, or the beauty salon. Did you know this was something I missed? Also, did you know that?
Wait a minute, I'm trying to get this sell off real quick. Listen, we got seasonings. All you got to do, I'm in Buckhead, and we at a salon, and I got melatonin. We got seasonings. You got to clean the chicken first. Anyway, and we got.
It was perfect. It's perfect because they talked about. I did not know Onyx and Daz Effects had a little beef. And that they had the bald heads versus the dreads, and that there's a line in an Onyx track where they make reference to something about the dreads. Watch out for the bald heads, which I did not know at the time was directed to Daz Effects. Wow. So there was a whole hairstyle battle on top of it.
Had a beef with Onyx?
Yeah, and Jared, his name is Fredro, not Fredro.
Fredro, my bad.
No problem. I got you on the pronunciations.
What a hip
Thank
hop.
you. I'm watching the offer about the making of The Godfather. So I got Fredo Corleone on my mind. That's what it is. Fredo, my bad. My
Word.
bad. All respect due to Onyx. the
Hey,
great
nah,
Onyx.
that they did it. That and they did that. Walk in New York. They did a remix with Wu-Tang and the Worst track. Those are two dope tracks. So yeah, off Pete Rock did a album. It had Sticky Fingers and Method Man on the same song. So yeah,
This
they
is
got
recent
some-
again. This is recent.
Oh no, this was
It's
back.
a couple years ago.
No,
It's
this
not
ain't
that
no
old.
couple. This was a while ago. This is the 2000s.
Are you talking when they still were relevant?
I thought it was like 3, 4, 5 years ago.
No, this is a long time ago.
Oh, my bad. Oh, well.
Yeah, it's all good.
right, well.
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
Hey,
Anyway,
McJagermeister, real quick. I was trying to pull up your previous super chat. I apologize. I thought we had gotten to it, but I can't find it. I know you were saying something about the
Proletariat don't.
Oh, here it
get
is. Here
owned
it
on.
is. Can I pull it up? Here we go. No proletarian owns an automatic weapon. The tax stamp alone is thousands of dollars, and you have to bid on the part that makes it automatic or semi-automatic. I think was the point you were trying to make. Depends on the weapon. For instance, HK51 is $50K plus. Dang.
Yikesies.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you.
You're right.
And-
Like you said, I'm too proletarian for that. Even I'm too proletarian for that. For that shit.
Ear
So,
doctor, how is it that, I mean, I know you're a DJ, so you keep your finger on the pulse of things, but do you think that rappers from our generation do a good job of marketing and promoting their new music, or am I just lazy? It could be I'm lazy. That is an acceptable answer as well.
It's to the fact where you just gotta look for them. With the internet now, it's so many different places you can go and find music, and if you just like keep up with the artists like on social media, then you'll know what's dropping. So I have a lot of
You gotta
social
follow
media.
them on Twitter. You gotta follow them on
Follow
Twitter.
them on different things, and then you'll know.
Y'all, I mean,
Well,
Oh,
I'm
my
assuming
bad,
that the
ear
big-
doctor.
the big record companies ain't putting no money behind, like if Method drops an album today, it's not going to get like some big push. So yeah, if you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it. So in all
Can I
seriousness-
say this though? I think that this platform, I know we are not in search of corporate sponsorship, but we do support, the genre of hip hop and rap generally. I think all of us here are hip hop and rap heads. I think that's a safe assumption. Hey man, artists, Wu-Tang, Redman, all y'all older artists, y'all need to come drop us some bucks when you guys have a new project out. Come over here and promote it, because this is your audience right here. Old fucking rap heads. That's us. That's us.
By the way, ear doctor, you were right. And I'm only about 25 years late. That
No
song
problem.
came out in 1998.
Wow.
So I'm
I was
just a
bumping that back
little.
then. That was a joint.
But I
know.
do think, Kim, you have a point between what the artists are doing and to Kamal's point, what the labels are not doing.
Mhm.
The stuff that doesn't get the promotion. And I just was watching something about the music industry where they were talking about the it really is at this point the labels only support what is already being supported.
Yeah.
So they're not, anyway.
Maybe I'll add that to one of the breaks. We'll start bringing out the old artists' new projects. How about that?
I like that. I like that.
That's a good idea.
'Cause, I mean, I want to support my guys, right, and my ladies, but I don't be knowing. I'm too busy catching up with the awful, terrible news of the day to know that Red and Meth got a new joint out. And I know Keontae called me lazy in the chat. Yes, Keontae, I am lazy, but I'm used to being marketed to, not to hunt down the new music. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
But did you
market
listen to the
us.
new Black Star, Kim?
I still
No.
haven't heard it.
No.
Because you gotta pay $3, and ain't
What's
nobody
that?
want to pay $3 to subscribe.
Because I'm already paying all these
Exactly.
services for stuff, man.
And then we
Most-
all
most-
say we're gonna do it and then cancel and then forget to cancel and wind up paying this money every month.
Mhm.
So
I
I
know,
got like
I know,
700
his kids are older,
subscriptions
but
on
most
it.
still got child support. So y'all need to get that Black Star rolling. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
That's what I keep hearing. 1 out of every 3 children in Brooklyn is his.
They got to be grown by now. It's probably 1 out of every 3 20-year-olds.
Right there. 1 out of every 3 college students.
hey,
Black
yo,
college
so
students.
the reason I'm in a salon in Buckhead right now is because I wanted to talk about one of my favorite white comedians and 5 of their best movies.
Oh boy.
That's right. Let's get to it right here.
Uh-oh.
Black
Oh
Power
boy.
Media.
Remix morning show.
All right. Get this dog out of here. Why is this dog in the salon anyway? Oh my goodness. All right, so check this out. What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about one of the best comedians that I would say took the place of Chevy Chase. That's right, no other than Will Ferrell. I must say he is one of the best and funniest guys, and I wanted to give you my top 5 Will Ferrell movies, if y'all are ready for this. First, we are going to talk about no other than Step Brothers. If you have not seen this movie, listen, it is hilarious. I mean, him and C. Riley, if I said his name right. If I didn't, go look it up. But this was one of his best movies. Next, I'm going to take it to the kids. That's right, the Lego movie. The Lego movie, he did his thing. Once again, it was a great movie. I know he wasn't the superstar of it, but I would say the Lego movie was good. Now let's get to a real one. No other than Talladega Nights. Oh my goodness. This dude is super funny. The Ricky Bobby, if you don't know about Ricky Bobby, you better find out because he wakes up and pisses excellence. Let me tell you. All right. Next, let's talk about Anchorman. Anchorman is another top one that he did. Very funny movie, playing Ron Burgundy. And my homegirl from Married with Children. Yes, all of them had good scenes, especially the fight scenes and everything when it brought out all the different. And I got to say this about it. He brings all his people, all his comedian friends, he brings them on and puts them on. Big up to Will. And my last one, this is one of my favorites, The Other Guys. If you have not seen this movie, check it out. It is super funny. It got The Rock in it. It got what's your boy name that yell and say, motherfucker? You know who I'm talking about. We'll get to his name. But anyway, this one is a real funny one. Check this one out too. Those are my top 5 funny movies by Will. Hey, we in the salon right now. This is what we talking about. So let's get back to the Remix Morning Show. You know how we do. All right.
No,
Now, man,
no.
the campaign, you left the campaign off. That should have been on the top 5. That's, I think, his best movie.
Really?
That joint.
No,
the campaign to me is hilarious.
no. Old school.
Old school can take Lego. They can take
Old
Lego.
School is the number one Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah.
The campaign is better than all of those and can definitely replace what's the one of them you had the
other guy,
Ricky Bobby joint. No, the other guys was funny. The other guys was funny.
It was good.
And Sam Jackson, who you meant to mention, and The Rock, they're not in the movie, man. You can't say they're in the movie. Come on, son.
They at the beginning, yo. I mean,
they are at the beginning.
That doesn't count. But that doesn't count. They're not in the movie. You can't. You could have somebody upset.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro.
Basketball one.
Yes.
And Riley does a good job playing Jerry Buss in this new winning season or winning time series.
Yeah, John C. Riley is an actual thespian out here. John C. Riley can really act. Like he's very talented, very talented. Ear Doctor, this is a genre very close to my heart. I have very unsophisticated taste in movies. That's why Will Ferrell comedies are amongst my favorite. And you guys mentioned all the ones that he omitted. Let me also throw in Blades of Steel or Blades of Glory, the ice skating movie, in there as well. Will Ferrell is ridiculously funny. And shout out to everyone who ever watched on HBO Eastbound and Down.
Oh yeah, I did. I watched that joint.
And Will Ferrell doing his who's my guy? Who was he?
Like Ric Flair.
Yes, he was doing his best Ric Flair. My only objection to Will Ferrell movies is that they're really overwhelmingly white. Like they're so white. It's the whitest. It's so white.
But that's what I was gonna say. That's what I like about them.
Mm-hmm.
So again, with my Vernon philosophy of black media avoidance theory approach, I cringe when I see black people show up in these folks' movies. So like I like it. Keep it white, keep it with yourself.
Stay in your lane.
You know, like I'm Will Smith with it. Keep my people out your mouth. You know what I mean? Like
well, you know, and that's the reason I like Will Ferrell is that he's not like you got too many white comedians who are basically doing black acts and getting really famous. You know, it's similar with the music where they just do black voices. They do, you know, they make references to hip hop. So they're doing all this other stuff to be funny, but it's usually some take on black culture, whether or not they're saying it openly or not. So that's one of the things I appreciate Will Ferrell is he's just like funny. He just does stupid, funny shit. So.
Well,
Jared, real quick. And other guys, when he's like, don't mess with Gator. Better get Gator back his money. Yo, oh my goodness, y'all got to do that.
I'm sorry, I have to contradict Kamal's point real quick. Boats and hoes. Gotta deal with my boats and hoes. The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Do you want the bottle while I drink a sangria?
True.
Nachos, lemon head, my dad's boat. Yes, boats and hoes. Run that back. You're not in the mix.
I mean, since Chevy Chase, I haven't seen a funnier white guy.
Now that is my real objection.
Why is he your standard for white comedians who are funny?
National Lampoon's Vacation? Are you serious?
Come on, man.
No.
Bill Murray was funnier.
Bill Murray, thank you. Run circles around Chevy Chase. Belushi, yep. Robin Williams, yep.
Yes. But when it comes to actual comedy or comedians, George Carlin is the white standard. Period. Just to clarify. Okay, that's what I was just saying. To clarify for stand-up, but for the movies, Bill Murray and them way funnier than Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase, man.
Now, what's all this conversation I keep hearing about Jack Harlow?
Oh, he's the new white rapper.
I refuse.
He's the new white rapper.
That's what I've heard it online.
I'm just boycotting.
No.
Yeah.
I won't do it. I won't do it. I just won't do it. I just won't do it.
Hey, before I get out of here, I also want to talk about another movie real quick. Candyman. If y'all have not seen this one, I don't usually watch horror flicks, but this is a redo of, almost a sequel of the first Candyman that came out. And it was done by Key and Peele. What's the dude's name? The guy that did the
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, or whatever his name is. But anyway, that movie right there, Candyman, it talks about how police killed black people during slavery, during times up to date, which made Candyman. So it's a good movie, and I would say it was directed by Nina DaCosta's black sister and written by Jordan Peele and Wynn Rosenfeld.
So Ear Doctor missed it because I get it. No people, but everybody go back and check when me and Jackie did a whole thing on this.
Oh, Candyman.
Yeah. I'm just messing with you, Ear Doctor. But yeah. We did a whole thing on Candyman and had some fun with it. So
they could have left it alone. Candyman.
I thought it was great.
Candyman was just fine. It wasn't scary. It wasn't scary. Like, okay, thank you for trying to hit me over the head with all this social commentary. Awesome. Am I scared? Isn't this a horror movie? In the point of me being afraid? It was.
I get you on that.
I could have missed that. I could have passed on.
I've never seen any of these horror movies. My sister loved them. I never watched really horror movies very much.
Dude was better as Candyman than he was as Morpheus. I'll say that though.
Yeah. And big up to that beautiful sister he was married to. Speaking of sisters, I want to say one last person. This sister right here, Moses Ingram. She's playing in the new Obi-Wan Kenobi. She is a badass sister and getting a lot of racist hate mail because she's doing her thing and she's playing the mad sister that wants to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi, and white people ain't feeling it, getting hate mail, and that's how
you have random pictures to bring up about things you're interested in. Is that?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what we're doing. But since you brought it up, what's the sister that's supposed to be playing Black Panther? I heard I heard things are not going well and people are not happy with her.
Oh, the one that played the sister.
Yeah, because they're mad about like she doesn't want to, she doesn't, she's anti-vax. She doesn't want to, she doesn't want to follow the whatever for the shooting and all that for the rules for the shoots and all that. And apparently she being, they're saying she's being difficult. And I always get suspicious when when people in popular media start saying black women are being difficult. But I was wondering what was really going on there. If now that I saw the Star Wars picture made me think of her real quick. Anyway, but
anyway. Nah. She since we just getting hated on because she's the mad black woman. That's pretty much what it is. So
So that means that we need to stand up for her, that we need to publicly, defend her vociferously from these racist attacks.
She actually got an award from being in Queen's Gambit as that was another thing that was on Netflix about the chess player Queen's Gambit.
She was in that?
Yeah, she actually got an award for being secondary actress.
Supporting?
Secondary actress.
Supporting.
Is that a category?
You mean supporting.
But I
don't think that's the right movie. The movie about chess?
Yeah, Queen's Gambit. She got a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a limited series or movie.
See, now I'm interested. Now I will go watch Queen's Gambit because before I was like,
but I did watch Queen's Gambit and I don't remember her in it at all.
I know. I'm like,
maybe her makeup was that good, or maybe her character was that good.
What role did she? Oh, you talking about Moses Ingram? My bad. Okay, I get it. Okay, I thought you were talking about the sister from Black Panther. I was like, what?
Oh no. So
okay, right? Yes. Sorry, Moses Ingram was in it. Yes, sorry. So
that's my deal of movies today. I catch y'all.
But
what up?
But Kim, but just to be it's not as bad as saying that Sam Jackson and The Rock were in whatchamacallit. But if you're gonna watch Queen's Gambit because of the sister getting that award, you're gonna be disappointed.
Oh, noted. Okay.
Just keep that in mind.
All right. Yeah. All right. Now I'm gonna have to work all morning to get boats and hoes out of my head. Now boats and hoes is in my head, dog. Boats and hoes. Man, let me get a boat. I'm blasting boats and hoes up and down the bay. Let's go. Boats and hoes.
All right, everybody in Chesapeake, watch out now.
Have Jared and Kamau on my boat shirtless, and I'm talking about boat. I'm sorry.
Do a little background dance.
Oh yes. What is a rap video without light-skinned background dancers? Come on. Showing off their bodies. Let's go. Let's flip this.
Yeah, if you want the I'm trying to think like what would be the anti D'Angelo reaction. So everybody remember when you all first saw D'Angelo back then, and then get ready for the exact, for me at least, I won't speak for Kamau, but for it be the exact opposite. It'd be like D'Angelo now. It's like D'Angelo with a little vitiligo, and,
Jared be shirtless and turning around in a slow circle. All of a sudden, you see a shirt enter the camera frame. Put your shirt on, man. Put them clothes back on, dog.
Now, speaking of rifles and shots, you might hear from my wife at that point. Be like,
she's gonna come to the set and get her man. She's like, baby, put that on.
No, she go exactly for her own preservation. She'd be like, shut this thing down until he gets dressed. Anyway,
put some baby oil on him. Don't have my man out here gray and ashy.
Oh my God, put some baby oil.
Oil him up. Make him shiny.
Oh man, let me pull up some of these bad news stories. We gotta get out of here. I gotta transition out of this Jared and Kamau's shirtless in the Chesapeake Bay.
This is my boats and hose. This is my boats and hose video treatment in my head. This is how my boats and hose video goes.
Now I'm picturing like Kim and Jay-Z's what was this video where they on the boat, Big Pimpin'?
I got Jared Kamau and Dr. Kalanji behind me, shirtless, dancing, shining, oiled up, and I'm boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Yes, this is getting better.
I don't
Think
even know.
about it.
I can't even imagine what the chat is saying right now. I'm staying way
Staying out the chat.
out
Yeah,
the chat.
let's
I'm
all
not
stay
even
out the
going
chat right
nowhere
now.
near the chat.
My bad, chat.
I'm looking
They're
at the
screaming
chat
for
like
news.
shark
They're screaming
infested
for news
waters
stories.
right now.
Back to the
So
news,
let's
Gerard.
let's
Slap-
get something easy like reparations. California's unprecedented reparations report details 150 years of anti-black harm. I have not. We mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I think when the law was first or whatever was just passed, but I haven't followed this much at all. But it says here a new report from California's first in the country statewide reparations task force details how slavery touched nearly every aspect of Black life in America, producing innumerable harms that are still felt today. The report, which was released Wednesday, offers a comprehensive look at the impacts of enslavement and generations of discrimination on Black Californians and Black Americans more broadly. It finds that the damage to Black communities is extensive and that a variety of intentionally crafted policy, judicial decisions, and racism by private actors has created a widespread exclusion of Black people that has not been sufficiently addressed at any level of government. So in other words, this is breaking news, is what they're telling us. This is breaking news, right? Breaking news. Racism there's been racism in California, in the United States. Yes, Shirley, right. You don't say. So I just wanted to step back and highlight that. This is, so I don't know if beyond that, this goes into.
Yes. Beyond the report, are they about to dole out some checks? Are they about to make things right? They're about to give away half of California to Black folks.
Okay.
So we can have land. Like that's always the thing. Like it's, No,
they're charged with studying. Yeah, sorry.
It's always a study or a commission or a survey. It's like we already know the history. So in that good reparations language, are they running them checks, right? What are they doing?
13 chapters, 500 pages in the interim reports recount the moral and legal wrongs the American and California governments have inflicted upon their own Black citizens.
So, Jared, if you look in the chat, I just dropped you a link because California has done something similar regarding compensation. I guess we can call this reparations in some sense. But for women who had to undergo forced sterilization by the state of California. So this was released by Governor Newsom last year, December 31st, 2021. California launches program to compensate survivors of state-sponsored sterilization. And the press release goes on to say, continuing the state's leadership to redress historical injustices, Governor Gavin Newsom today announced the launch of California's new program to compensate survivors of state-sponsored sterilization created as part of the 2021-2022 state budget package. Beginning January 1st, 2022, survivors of state-sponsored sterilization can apply for compensation through California's forced or involuntary sterilization compensation program, which is being administered by the California Victim Compensation Board, the CAVCB. Quote, California is committed to confronting this dark chapter in the state's past and addressing the impacts of this shameful history. I believe this was women inmates, women who were incarcerated were forced to undergo forced sterilization. But I think there was additional shit to this as well. Specifically, I think it was Black and Latina and indigenous women who were forced to undergo this forced sterilization. So the bottom line is the state is providing $4.5 million to be split evenly. That does not sound like a lot of money. $4.5 million to be split evenly amongst all eligible individuals who apply, in addition to $2 million for administrative and outreach for the program, and $1 million to establish markers or plaques at designated sites that acknowledge the wrongful sterilization of thousands of vulnerable people. It is estimated that at least 600 survivors from forced sterilization are alive today and eligible for compensation. And then it goes on about the history from 1909 through 1979 under state eugenics laws. Jesus, there's state eugenics laws. Fucking kill me. Mm-hmm. Thousands of people who lived in California, state-run hospitals, homes, and institutions were sterilized. Those laws were repealed in 1979. However, it was later found that the state forced or coerced sterilizations sterilizations, institutions were, people who are in institutions were sterilized. So it's interesting that California is at least applying some study and I guess even some money to redress.
How many people did you say were eligible for it though? Was it like 600?
It says there are estimated
600,
there are 600 survivors, 600 people still alive from who underwent these forced sterilizations from 1909 through 1979.
And there's only been about $7.5 or $8 million or so allotted to this. So it's not, it's not a huge amount of money. And in the other story, it is just about a report. And as we talked about here earlier, they've reignited some of the debate around who is eligible for these reparations, and they of course decided that only those with a proven lineage of Black American heritage would be qualified. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. By the way, tomorrow on I Mix What I Like, we're going to have a discussion with Nkechi Taifa, who just did a new TED Talk on reparations, and we're going to have a discussion in more detail about all of that, and I think probably some loving disagreement on the value and possibilities involved with reparations. But anyway,
I disagree with having to prove your slave lineage. Like, I am Black in America. I assure you, that's sufficient. That's sufficient.
Well, the real purpose is they want to make sure that those, more newly arrived diasporan Africans don't get any of this. So now, because I actually said the same.
Run people their money too, because they experienced colonization and some American involved fuckery, regardless of where they came from. Right, anywhere in the globe they came from, America was dabbling maliciously in their country's affairs. So run them their money too. Like I'm not with that. And if you are 100% Black American, whatever the hell that is, how do you prove your lineage? Like, you understand how you guys know how much work genealogy is? And what's my other alternative? To sign over my DNA to 23andMe that they can own my DNA in perpetuity. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like these. I don't like these hoops. I don't like these hurdles. I don't like these hurdles, man. I don't like it.
So I agree. Again, that's why I was thinking, that episode of Atlanta was for me in many ways the nightmare scenario, where you have this panel, which includes Kevin Samuels and two other, mysterious men or whatever, deciding who's Black enough to get reparations. And making, and I know it was done for comedic effect, but it's like that whole thing of, can you prove your Blackness by, your affinity for Hennessy or watermelon, or, and then to your point, Kim, and the more serious, probably they would say, can you provide the records? And I think, beyond your point about people's justifiable hesitancy about DNA, is this whole thing of records, the incontinuity or lack of continuity of records. So you to your point, yeah, I'm Black, I'm here in America, but I don't have that definitive document that shows my such and such and such was enslaved and such and such and such. Like, then it just becomes this whole who's presiding over that? Anyway, that's why. Anyway, I just keep thinking that's why I want something bigger. Because, by the way, when we looked at the numbers in terms of California, I can't remember the details, but when they were talking about the non-Black American Africans who should not qualify, we were talking about, I think, less than 200,000 people. So, it's we're really getting down to, I want every crumb possible of the crumbs that are being dropped. And
I think sometimes this is brought in as a way to have the discussion without really having the discussion, right? So now they can start pitting people against each other for money that money that does not even exist for reparations, right? So instead of talking about if there's going to be reparations, how that's achieved, instead they got folks talking about, well, if we do get it, you don't get this, you get this, and you get that, when there's no money on the table. And then, as I've stated, there's never going to be any money on the table, because the people who colonize you are not going to give you reparations to make you whole. Because otherwise, why would they colonize you in the first damn place? If folks oppress you, their role is not to liberate you by giving you the same resources that they worked so hard to take from you in the first damn place.
They're going to
It's
give
only after
everybody $1
you
million.
defeat your enemy. It's only after you defeat your enemy
Yes.
can you even apply, can you even make them or force them really to give you resources that are going to stop oppression. But that's only after they're defeated.
We're going to get $1 million check, and then a gallon of milk is going to be $750,000 tomorrow. And a
Or
loaf
like
of
you
bread
said,
is gonna
even
be-
they'll get, at some point there might be something that says we have $50 million, right? Divided up by 40 million African people, right? But it's a big number. So they get to sound like they did something. People start getting all cheery about it. And it's like, now we did it. Now y'all can never bring this up again.
Yeah.
Well, that's ultimately what will happen. But
what we all want is to be big pimping, like Ear Doctor is with Jay-Z apparently right now, and like Kim would have been with me and Kamal on the yacht.
Hey.
Ear Doctor he's happy about it. He's getting ready for it.
Yes. Ear Doctor wants to be my backup dancer on my yacht.
I think so.
I
see a little oil on the side. He about to oil up for that. He's like, where's the auditions?
Say less. What?
Y'all don't need to
got my shea butter ready. Let's get it. Nah.
Y'all got the job. No auditions necessary, gentlemen. We have made our selections. Yes.
He got the bottles in reach and everything.
Hey, man. And speaking of, I know we didn't talk about the last verses. Real quick, they did have 8-Ball MJG and UGK. As you see, UGK did the song Big Pimpin' with Jay-Z. The verses was those lyrics don't work well over time, especially when you're talking about bust a nigga head, slap a hoe, shoot the club up.
Bust a nigga head, slap a hoe, shoot the club up. That's my shit. Yes, you don't want. See, I have to go back and watch it. I did not watch it live, and I have to say I was disincentivized to watch it because I don't like how it was marketed. UGK versus 8-Ball and MJG. Pimp C is gone, dog. Like, how was it UGK? Who was rapping Pimp C's verses?
It was a concert. We gotta stop looking at his verses. I mean, and your boy Bun B did a great job of doing the verses, Pimp C's verses, and the crowd was filling in too. So
okay.
It was decent.
You said there was another verses with Cypress Hill though, even a little bit before.
Cypress Hill and Onyx, and they made people pay for that one, so it wasn't well received, and a lot of people didn't watch it. So
why are they making you pay for that of all things?
I know. It's crazy.
You should have paid for that Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills. That was entertainment, my guy.
That was entertainment. That was Stephanie proved again that she is completely underrated in this game. Legend.
Yeah, well,
legend.
Girl, we'll have to put that bottle down next time so we can get a good concert. But
sound like come out.
Anyway, let's take a quick break. I want to do an artist spotlight, so let's get to it, y'all.
Let's go.
Remix Morning Show.
All right. What's good, everybody? Welcome out. I had to get out of that off of that boat real quick and get back to reality. I'm ready to go on vacation, but in my mind, I'm already there. But what we want to talk about right here, right about now, is a group that came out of Philadelphia, that came and hit the world with some classics that make your mom and dad make sure you was here. So let's talk about no other than Harold, Melvin, and the Blue Notes. That's right. Let's take you back a bit. So Harold, Melvin, and the Blue Notes was a soul and R&B group, like I said, out of the Philadelphia soul category back in the 70s. They was pretty much in soul, R&B, doo-wop, disco, because the thing is, they started back in the 1950s, back when doo-wop was very popular. And they first started off there. The first name was the Charlemagnes. That's right. They was on Gamble and Huss Philadelphia International label between 1972 and 1976. They performed until and recorded until Melvin's death in 1997. What happened is one of the biggest people out of the group, who we know as Teddy Pendergrass, got in the group, did his thing, and they got the singles. As you know, some of their biggest singles is If You Don't Know Me By Now and Wake Up Everybody, No More Sleeping in Bed. So they had some banging singles. They also did some disco, because you got to think, from 1950 all the way to the 70s, you had a whole bunch of different genres of music. And they even redid Don't Leave Me This Way, which was a Thelma Houston hit, and redid that. They did a thing for a while. Then, like I said, Pendergrass got a little too big for him. He left the group, but they still did their touring even afterwards. They had so many people in and out of the Blue Notes, different people that came and filled places for other people. But they actually did 9 albums. They did 9 albums, and they got their singles, and they was very much a hit back in the day. They also are on the Vocal Group Hall of Fame. They got their mark in the Hall of Fame in 2007. So we got to give it up to Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. In case you don't know, go check out some of their music right here. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Let's take you back to our host with the most right here on the Remix Morning Show. All right.
Saw the documentary on Teddy Pendergrass in his time with Harold Melvin. Yeah, and it was like, they were staying in this ratty hotel, and Howard was at at the Four Seasons, and then they went.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It was a little more. It wasn't that Teddy just got too big. It was Harold was a little too small and petty. Boy, he was on his petty Pendergrass against Teddy. You know what I'm saying?
Teddy Pendergrass. That's what
they said. He changed the name from the Blue Notes to Harold Melvin because everybody who was screaming Teddy's name. He was like, "This is my band." That was it with Jared Ball and the Biscuits. What is it? Mama's Biscuits.
Jared Ball.
Mama's Flapjacks.
It was started as Jared's Biscuits. But I mean, I felt sorry for the dude watching it because as soon as you hear Teddy sing, it's like, come on, son.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah.
You are a backup singer now.
Yeah.
You know who the star of this act is.
I mean, this is one of my favorite eras of music. The TSOP, the Sound of Philadelphia, my guys. You go back and listen to some of them old Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, some of them old Isley Brothers, the OJs, the horns, the strings, the harmonies. They are doing everything. And when I was younger, I didn't understand that Teddy Pendergrass was not Harold Melvin, right? I just assumed that I thought, oh, he's the person singing lead. That must be Harold. I don't even know which one of them is Harold Melvin. Which one? I wouldn't.
He got the afro. He had one of the bigger afros in that picture.
Woo! Listen, kids, right now, after we log off, go listen to Be For Real. Go listen to Where Are My Friends. Go listen to what was another jam that Harold Melvin and the Blue? I mean, they had so many, but Be For Real is my joint though, because that's the only time I'm comfortable with a man laying out his bougie partner. Like he laid out his old lady for about 5 minutes about how bougie she was. She wanted to look down on all the friends that live in the lower development homes. And I was like, this is actually a very good anti-bougie anthem here that you put together, Harold Melvin.
A good diss track.
Yeah, and what is it? Bad Luck was another big one. But that Wake Up Everybody, they still use that in movies to this day. Song.
Now that documentary, to the extent it's accurate, if I remember correctly, supports this suspicion that I know I'm not alone in having, that the one of the reasons why we don't hear a Teddy Pendergrass style voice anymore was because of the white women that were showing up and the white men that were feeling a certain kind of way about their women looking at Teddy like, what are you doing? Because they show up, they have footage of people at the shows, and they have like there are scenes where these white men are next to their women, and the women are like, oh, Teddy, and the dude is just kind of standing there looking like Joe Biden when Barack Obama was at this.
Panties
like
being thrown on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it off.
So the industry was like, get that out of here. Get some auto tune. Get the bass out their voice. Get get all of this out of here. I don't know, man. Okay, I don't know. I just feel I don't know, man.
It's not a bad conspiracy theory. I'm not mad at it.
Ooh, where's that picture of Teddy Pendergrass in his hooded fur coat, looking like a boss, y'all? Teddy was a fashionista out here. Teddy could wear some clothes.
Word. So that's our break real quick. Well, Howard Melvin and the Blue Notes. Y'all go check out a song for him with them and rock out.
Well done, right Doctor. Yes, Harold Melvin.
Indeed.
I'm such a fan of that era of music, y'all. I just hear the musicianship. Strings and horns on your song. Come on now. Woo!
That's all we did. You know what? That's the only thing we have not had is a white male deep voice singer, right? Who's stolen that style. They've taken everything else in the music genre, but we haven't had that. Like you got Ade or Adelaide, whatever her name is, basically stole black singing style.
Put some respect on her name.
Whatever her name is.
She has the blackest voice in music.
You got your Eminem, your rap. You got your Justin Timberlake for the soft soul voice, but you haven't got that white deep bass singer yet. Who's taking
Michael Bolton was their last shot, right? That was the last.
Michael Bolton?
McDonald.
Wasn't that their last attempt? No, not Michael McDonald. I'm talking about I said who was a shot, but I thought Michael Bolton was the most recent attempt at that.
Jesus.
Is there a more recent bass,
I don't know.
Trying to have
anybody.
Some bass in their voice? Not a doctor.
They got that song, There's No Need to Worry. I want to be the man that you want me to be. That was like a house song, but nobody know him.
Somebody in the chat said Sam Smith, but I don't think Sam Smith has the bass, the deepness. Sam Smith sings up here. You know what I mean? So we talking
Michael
about
McDonald was. Yeah, I'm with Michael.
Yeah, that's about it.
Michael McDonald,
I'll do my research.
I actually like Michael McDonald. In fact, he had so much soul that white folks didn't even take him on like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no.
The Doobie Brothers did. You know what I mean?
The black Tina Marie,
like hits in the black.
The male Tina Marie.
Yeah. That's to this day, it still astounds me that white America does not recognize Tina Marie and give her flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like they get all excited. Oh, Adele can sing,
because she's a race traitor. Kim.
Oh, well, sorry, you're right.
They were like, nah, we'll stick with Bette Midler then. God damn it.
She took it too far. She's laying up with Rick James. She took it too far. She can't come back after that.
Yeah, you can't come back after Rick. Nah, man, you can't do all that. Get out of here, man. Hey, but Kim, this was a nice, real quick, because Sister Erica hooked us up to follow up to a story in terms of stories in what you brought up the other day, and even in the note, Erica says that they don't have money for AC in Baltimore schools because, according to this story, the staff might be too busy. In this case, stealing 750 gallons of diesel fuel for a Baltimore City school police officer accused of trying to steal 750 gallons of diesel fuel. Four men, including a Baltimore City public school officer, were arrested Monday after Anne Arundel County Police said they attempted to steal 750 gallons of diesel fuel from a Millersville truck stop. All four were released on their own recognizance. Anyway,
so they tried to steal a truck full of gas, basically. That's not a bad hustle. It's not a bad hustle these days, B.
To steal hundreds of gallons of diesel fuel.
Where are you going to sell it?
Diesel. You can't do nothing with that though on the street.
Say, where are you selling it at,
unleaded. Yeah. I think they just picked the wrong truck. You gotta get some unleaded. and set up shop someplace and shit, like in your backyard. You just have folks
Oh, they
roll
were putting
by.
it into a diesel into a U-Haul.
Or say they were using it, or they were
Yeah,
loading it up.
Video from a surveillance camera at the truck stop showed the 4 men pumping diesel fuel into a U-Haul truck.
How do that work,
Officers said they searched the U-Haul truck and found storage containers filled with the fuel.
Storage containers.
So they apparently had something worked out. There was some, they just got caught.
No, somebody told. That's a big because it's so random. You know what I'm saying? Like that's such a random thing. Like somebody had to drop a dime on that. I don't believe Anne Arundel County Police was just on top of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody dropped a dime on them.
True. That's very true. That is that.
That's a snitch. I can tell a snitching story from a mile away. Somebody got told on.
You're right.
Kim, to something that you raised earlier as well, a New York subway shooting survivor is suing the manufacturer, sues gun manufacturer Glock. So there are attempts. A New York woman who was injured during the April 12th mass shooting aboard New York City subway car has sued Glock Incorporated, arguing the gun manufacturer should have known its weapons could be purchased by people with criminal intent. Ooh, that sounds Brooklyn resident.
The Supreme Court going to shut that down. Eventually, that's going to get all the way up to, because there's some of these kind of cases that are springing up now, and I think there are even cities and or states that are specifically making laws or passing legislation to allow folks to sue gun owners on different grounds. So I'm seeing this as something that's going to work its way up to the Supreme Court level, where Supreme Court is going to
side with the gun manufacturers.
Yeah, they're going to side with the gun manufacturers.
Well, what is it? I didn't know about it. Her lawsuit comes after New York State in 2021 passed a law allowing people affected by gun violence to sue gun makers for creating a, quote, nuisance that endangers public safety and health. Stewart asked the judge to order Glock to eradicate the effects of its marketing practices. So I don't understand why. Again, obviously, I don't know anything about this law. I'm just reading about.
They're going to try to position this to be similar to like cigarettes, right? So where they're, you have to either protect, package, redo how you sell your weapons or how you market your weapons to the mass to a mass audience. So it seems to be a legal attack that's framing it around some of those issues. But again, because of the constitutional protections that ownership of guns has in this country, I won't be surprised when that works its way up to the 6-3 conservative Supreme Court.
So they're claiming that sorry, go ahead, Kim.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, we're going to see that scoreboard a lot coming out of the Supreme Court, 6-3, and the 6-3 decision, and the 6-3 decision, and the 6-3 decision. That's going to be it for the next 30 years, the 6-3 decision. Sorry.
It says that the defendant's marketing and distribution practices made it far more likely that criminals, including Frank James, would obtain their weapons. So they're arguing that the marketing of the gun had some effect on. That's interesting. I don't know how you
lawyer. People trying to make some new theories, some new cases, some new laws. It's gonna get knocked down.
Come on up here, Kamal. Let's get you in the Maryland bar so you can challenge this ghost gun law. Get the shit off the books. Get the shit off the books, Kamal, because it's stupid.
What's interesting to me, speaking to Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas is getting old, so we might have to put a death watch on him soon.
Oh, wow.
To see whether or not Joe Biden might go first, but just to see.
Right.
Yeah.
To be a racer. They race into the grave.
Right. How old is Clarence Thomas? Is he 80? Is Clarence Thomas in his 80s?
I think if he's not, he's very close to that. We should look that up. I think he's now the senior member of the Supreme Court.
He's 73 years old.
Damn, looking 83. See, that's how living foul do you. Look at you, Clarence.
So black don't crack unless you marry white.
That black is cracking. That black is fractured, sir.
It's fractured.
He don't look moisturized or anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, please. He's younger than my mother, and my mother looks like she's 55. You feel me? Like, that's what happens when you live right, black people. Live right. Don't do the bidding of white supremacy. It ages you. It ages you in a bad way.
Well, speaking of blackness, and in this case specifically complexion, faulty oxygen readings delayed COVID treatments for darker skinned patients. Study
Oh my
finds.
God.
According to this article in Stat. Wow. COVID-19 care, including distribution of life-saving therapies, was significantly delayed for Black and Hispanic patients due to inaccurate oxygen readings from devices that can work poorly in darker-skinned individuals,
Oh my God.
according to a study published Tuesday. The finding may be one reason much higher COVID-19 mortality rates have been seen in communities of color across the United States. Widely used pulse oximeters, which measure oxygen levels by assessing the color of the blood, have been under increasing scrutiny for racial bias because they overestimate blood oxygen levels in darker skinned individuals and make them appear healthier than they actually are. So this is interesting because this seems to be a perfect bookend to the studies I've seen talking about how I don't know if it's measured by necessarily by complexion, but I think it's fair to assume that it would work this way, that Black patients, women in particular, are often falsely diagnosed as being able to withstand more pain and be healthier than they are, to get less of the specific needs offered immediately. So not only is just the broader general bias, but the technology is working along with that pre-existing anti-Blackness, apparently. So
that's awful.
It's
That
fascinating.
Is really horrific.
The only thing I'm happy about is that the facial recognition stuff doesn't work that well on Black folks.
Right.
I know there's folks trying to improve it. I'm like, can y'all mind your fucking business? Like, let that shit not work. I don't need that technology to work. Let that not work.
That's why the facial recognition worked so well down at the Capitol during January 6th, because it picked up all the white people. It's like, oh, this is the faces we recognize. Yeah, we can easily do this.
We can easily pick these folks up.
This is terrible news to hear, and it's unsurprising because in a lot of just general medical research and schooling, generally, like the baseline is a white male body, right? So they do all their tests and their experimentations when it comes to testing new equipment, usually on white bodies and white male bodies. So this is not surprising because, again, Black people and women are usually not taken into consideration when it comes to developing new medical technologies. But just sort of anecdotally, what you said about Black women being perceived as not experiencing pain, Howard County General Hospital, this was some years ago, but my mom was having an incident, and we got her to the hospital, and she's in extreme pain, and the nurses are walking around, okay, we'll be right with you. Okay, right with you. Minutes go by. I stick my head out the curtain. I just kind of see them lollygagging. And I yelled. I said, my mother's in here in pain. I bet you if she was a white woman, she'd already have her pain medication, right? Oh, shit. Here come this white lady administrator. Oh, no, this is Columbia. I said, baby, I am from Howard County. You got to try that racism shit with me one more time.
Did she really say this is Columbia?
Yeah, this is Columbia. We don't treat people different. This has nothing to do with race. I said, honey, I'm from here. Okay, you can try that with somebody else who's not from here. I know what kind of time you Howard County crackers are. They call security on me and everything, Jared. But the security guard was Black, right? And he was giving me a lot of space. He was like, ma'am, just calm down. I said, no, man, if my mother was white, she would have had her treatment. And they were like, anyway, and I went on. I said, this is systemic. This is a part of endemic systemic racism in the medical field, and y'all da. But thankfully, they let me stay. But guess what? My mother got her attention. My mother got her medical care.
Yeah.
See, I've had to do the exact reverse in Howard County. Yeah. My bad. Go ahead, Kamal.
Oh no, I was going to say, and then once you have to act out,
yes,
to get attention. Then they label you something. It's like, you see how she acted? That's how they are.
That's how they
are. Like, are you sitting back there chilling, doing nothing? My mom is screaming in pain.
Thank you. Don't play games with my mother. I will cuss everybody in here. You, and you. You're all of them.
So I had to do the opposite. My bad. I was just saying I had to do the opposite when I was taking my mother to the hospital over the last couple of years, and saying if my mother had married a white man, we wouldn't be waiting in the damn lobby. God damn it. hours.
Did that work? Did that work? Did that play well?
Didn't play well at all. But and that's why I was in the Social Security office pointing to the security guard saying, that's why you got a gun on your hip, because you treat people like this.
Oh shit. Jared, I have to say, I am here for the way you will carry on in public. I am here for that shit, Jared. I hope you and I are never aggrieved or receive bad customer service at the same time. In the same location. Yes. Everybody is getting cussed, yelled at, told about themselves.
2/3 of the Remix Morning Show will not be here this morning. They're currently
locked up in Baltimore
looking
County
for
jail.
bail in Howard County.
The free Kim and Jared hour.
Right. BPM Twitter page sending out the GoFundMe link for Kim and Jared's bail fund. How
political was it? It was like, well,
and then
look, and then things just went loud.
I'm here for it, though.
People got to stop mistreating people. They got to stop mistreating people straight up. That's what it is. Don't stop judging me by my response to the mistreatment and stop fucking with me.
True.
Yes.
True.
Damn it. Yes. Anyway, but I did. I was like, because old boy turned. He heard my voice go up, and he turned, and I was like, "That's why you got the gun on your hip," and and then I was thinking, and then I thought to myself, that's why people get shot, because they get mad and start going bucking at people who hold their gun. Because I was like, I don't give a fuck about your gun. And that's why, when people
that's really when it goes left. What you say, like, then you go like, shoot me. You gonna shoot somebody? You gonna shoot somebody? That's what it really.
What you gonna do with that? You gonna hurt yourself? You better put that away. Yeah, that's how. Yeah, that's anyway. Yeah, look.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I don't know. Look, you gotta. Anyway, like you said, if that's what you're looking for, sometimes you're gonna find it. So
it's right.
I don't know what to say.
I'm here for it, though. I am here for it. I'm here for it. Carry on. Carry on in public. Carry on. Yes, I'm here for it.
So listen, we have earned. We're gonna get out a little bit early, make room, because we have earned a special mix from the ear doctor this morning, apparently. So before we get out of here, I do want to thank you, Shirley, for preemptively donating to the bail fund.
Kamal, designate that $5 in the account.
Right, put that in the piggy bank. Yeah, put that over there. Right, that's for real. Yeah, exactly. And thanks to everybody for another great week at the Remix.
Yeah.
Definitely come on back and catch everything that's been coming out on the channel. Make sure your bell is all selected so you don't miss anything. Kim, what is coming up tomorrow on Burn It Down? Do you know already?
No, I don't. I do not know already. But today is my day that I put the show together. And I have to say, like, the week in news has been so bad. I have been intentionally avoiding the news. So I'm gonna have to get caught up on the latest developments in Uvalde, which I'm sure are horrific and appalling. So and I know there's other news going out there too. So I'm sorry I don't have a rundown as to what Run It Down with Kim Brown's going to be about tomorrow. But just tune in at 7:00. You know what I'm saying? I call it Black Femme Friday because I don't think we're going to have a Luke Mon Nation, but Luke Mon Nation normally is on Friday at 7. So is LDI. So is Sabby Sabs, and so is the Burn It Down with Kim Brown. So listen, we love it when you come and watch us live and participate in the chat. But if you want to watch one of the other sisters or brothers that are on at the same time, that's cool. Just save us to your watch later list and come back and check us out. Thank you, Northern Witch, again.
Yeah, thank you, Northern Witch, for the bail support. And we'll help start off Black Femme Friday with Nkechi Taifa tomorrow morning. And I know we got Warrior. Thank you very much, our Manifesto, for the Cosby Kids support. And right on. And definitely that we have Warrior class on Saturday, Sundays on Sunday. I'll be back on Monday, Remix back on Tuesday as well. So, Ear Doctor, come give the people what they've earned, my man.
Yeah, Sundays we're gonna rock out some soul music. So we're gonna rock some soul music. So right now we're just gonna rock out. So let's get it.
Get it. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate you.
It's a new trend.
Peace, everybody.
And the magnificent.
Yeah. Let's get it. Tell them who we want.
The type of individual that seek out ways to stack mad figures.
Who?
Shut down the main man just to make his game plan bigger. And when you scheme, he ready to move much more quicker. So when you flip and he slip the clip and then he rely on the trigger.
Let's get it.
But truly,
We're going to MOP.
representing for the love of
Little
this.
Bismarck. Poor rights teachers.
Yeah. This one is dedicated to all my niggas in Central New Jerusalem. All the brothers that picked up that ring after I put it down. Took this ghetto to be there unlawfully with it wide. Poor righteous teachers representing the 9. It's like that and you don't stop.
Let's get it.
She like cocaine running around my brain. True, Miss Ghetto be like cocaine running around your brain. I know some crack slangers, gangbangers, and cracker shankers. The soldier trainers teaching their kids to murder strangers. They live for danger, they express the dying anger. Miss Ghetto got them, dreaming of loot and Swiss bankers. The finest weapons, that can try extra Smith and Wessons. Unlike the 80s, ladies back in 6380. This shit is crazy, but it's life. The ghetto babies, they gotta eat, so the streets provide the gravy.
Let's go.
I used to be in love with this guy named Sam. I don't know why, cause he had the head like that of a clam. But you couldn't tell me nothing, cause Sam was number one. Cause to me, oh my gosh, he was one in a million. I should've knew the consequences right from the start. That he'd use me for my money and then break my heart. But like a fool in love, I fell for his game. But I got mine, so I show no shame. And Empire winked his eye, and then he kept walking. All of those who live in Brooklyn know just what I'm talking. The roller disco, where we all used to go, just to have some fun back in 1981. You know the place, Empire Boulevard, is where I first saw the nigga and he tried to play hard. But I knew the deal, cause I knew his brother Jerry. And Sammy just broke up with his girlfriend Terry.
Think about it, 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 think about it.
Little bit of special ed. Let's take y'all back. Come on.
Sometimes I want to rhyme, but then again I must wait for the approaching of a toy to introduce him to his fate, death. I always try to figure out why sucker MCs want to battle me when they know they will not in the end. So I pretend you live in trifle. I'ma rope you up like a cowboy, stifle your throat with my microphone cord, cause I'm a lord of the rhyme. Some people say that they can never get bored, cause I'm exciting, pleasurable listening. I'm only trying to show you what your records keep on missing in. I'm only trying to help out your crew, and I know I must forgive you cause you don't know what you're doing. So sucker MCs, please think twice. Would you join the Navy or you didn't like this, right? Think about it.
Throw up your woo.
Pledge allegiance to the hip hop.
Check it out.
I break you down to the bone brush. Those people scud missile heat seeking.
Johnny blazing.
Nightmares like West Craven. Niggas gunning. My third eye seen it coming.
Before it happened. That's what it is right here on the Remix Morning Show, y'all. In case y'all didn't know, we will check y'all out. We still got Kim in the building. Yo, so that's what it is. Throw up your woos. This is the Remix Morning Show. With y'all out every Tuesday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And we are out of here. So peace.